So, hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I have Shayla Rankin. Did I say your name right?
Yeah, you did.
Yes, okay. With cheatingdebt.com, and she's going to be telling us all about how we can get our life together, our credit together, and start the new year with a bang. So, Shayla, do you want to tell us your story, like how you got started or how you came up with cheating debt?
Yeah, so my husband and I own Cheating Debt. We have been in business since 2016. We are one of the top ranked credit repair companies in the Fort Worth area on Google. And we just started it just out of passion. I've always been really financially savvy,
Mhm.
and I didn't realize that I knew so much about finances, about credit, and investing and everything else. And then I got together with my husband, and he just basically knew he had to have good credit, but didn't really know like what was on his credit report, how to look at his credit, or even how to build his credit. And so when we got together, we quickly were expecting our first daughter, and so we were like, okay, like let's move out of our parents' house. We were really young, and that's kind of where we started everything. And once I figured that found out that his credit was not that great, it wasn't horrible, but he did have like a couple things on there that he needed to work on. And he had no idea what to do. And I kind of knew what to do, but I've never had anything negative on my credit. I just knew how to like build and maintain it. So we just started researching, we just started educating ourselves on like what are they looking at, to come up with our credit scores, and just all those things. What's exactly reporting on his credit report, and then we just kind of started from there, like working on his credit, because every place that we went to get an apartment, to get our electricity turned on, to get cable, I mean, everything was asking for like an extra deposit because of his credit. And I had stopped working. So I had stopped working because I was just about to have my daughter. So I didn't even think that, oh my gosh, you can't even use my perfect credit. Um, so I would always say like, oh, can we do his income, but like my credit? And they would always be like, no, like
I
both
get
of you
asked
guys
that a
can do.
lot.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I asked the same thing because I was just like, I don't have income, so I don't qualify by myself. So we were kind of in a pickle where I didn't qualify by myself and he didn't qualify by himself. And then that's when we decided, and it was a little bit of ego too, because men always like to take control of like the finances.
Yes.
I think that kind of like lit a fire in him, and he just got really passionate about credit, and then the power of credit and things that he's able to do. I remember we ended up fixing his credit. I actually put everything I could in my name. And we ended up fixing his credit. We paid all the extra deposits we needed to, and we fixed his credit. And then we went and had to like refinance like our car and kind of backtrack some, because we had high interest rates due to his credit and stuff. But yeah, it just was like a passion for him. He just saw the power of it. And I know one day he was like, oh, I really, like he needed a new computer for work. And he just walked in the Mac Apple store, and they right away were like, okay, like you've got $10,000, have fun. And he was just like, I've never been approved for anything like that before. And I'm just like, really? And he was just like, oh my gosh, like I would always have to just save up all my money and pay cash. He
Mhm.
didn't know like that credit was just so powerful. And then once he saw like the power of just having good credit, he just started telling everyone he knew. And so if
Mhm.
his friends were like, hey, I need a second chance apartment, or I want a house, or we became homeowners. I was 24 years old. Um, and
Wow.
so people were like, how did you guys do that? And so he just was like, like good credit, like it lowers your bills. And he never knew that
Mhm.
you would pay extra in everything just for having bad credit.
Yep.
um like we lowered our expenses just by having good credit. And then from there, I mean, just we saved up our money and had good credit, and we got our house. So he just like preached it to everyone. And before you knew it, word got around and people were just calling his personal phone, hitting him up on Instagram, Facebook, I mean, anything. And they were just like, how do I fix my credit? How do I look at it? Or how do I even build it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that's not taught to us,
Yeah. So
which
is
is
it something that was taught to you? Like, did your parents teach you
yeah.
about
Yeah.
credit?
So my
Okay.
dad, he taught me a lot about money, managing my finances,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of why how I got with my husband, which was like me managing my finances. Like all my money was accounted for. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just how I grew up. And I grew up like, if you can't afford it, you can't buy it.
Right.
I have tons of credit cards. I've literally had the same bank. I still have that bank. I still have my first credit card with the bank. I have everything. But I literally opened up a savings account and my dad would like micromanage it. And he
Mm-hmm.
would be like, how much are you making in your little job? And like, you got to pay for your school, you have to pay for your car. And he just kind of helped me build my credit. It was just kind of instilled in me. Um, as soon as I was able to, he was like, okay, let's get you this credit card. And he's like, this is exactly how you're going to use it. Um, it's just like little things that he told me that it just kind of like stuck with me. I never knew any different. I didn't know that I could just get any credit card and just charge on it. I'm just like, I had like my credit union and I had my like little cards that went to it. And I just followed his guidance and I didn't even realize that there was so many other options out there. Not that they're better options, but just like people, like when I look at credit reports now, people get payday loans. I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, what is a payday loan? Like
Yeah.
I was never introduced to any of that stuff.
And they
Um,
have crazy interest rates, like 500%.
percent.
I'm like,
Yes. And my dad was always like, do everything through the credit union. And he's like, this is your bank. This is who you need money from. This is your like everything financial, right?
mhm.
And he just even told me like, when you go get money from the bank, like you could either go to your actual bank or you could go to an ATM in your bank or an ATM like where you're banking at. I didn't know you can just like go to any ATM. Um, there's just like certain things that he just told me. And so he was always like very financially savvy. And then his brother is a big investor. He owns his own company and he also does like a lot of investing. So they would literally, my uncle would gift me stocks. Like paper. I would call it paper.
I need
He would
family like that.
yeah, he would literally give me like stocks. And so, and for like my birthday and stuff, or like, and I was like, what is this? And he's just like, well, you own a piece of the company. And I'm like, but how?
Yeah.
And he just kind of very like surface level introduced it to me.
Hmm.
And then from there, my dad was like, okay, since this was already gifted to you, now I want you to start putting money into it and buying more shares. And then I don't know, like I just kept it going.
Hmm.
So when I got with my husband, I had like a good savings account, good financial habits. I had investments already, and I just thought it was normal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good. That's good that they taught you that. Because, like you said, you thought it was normal that that's just how things were done, not knowing that
Yeah.
people do get in debt and it's crazy to try to get out of it. So, I think for me, like so I had my oldest when I was a senior in high school. And then from there, my mom like talked me into getting an apartment once I turned 18. And I was like, oh, okay, like sure. And then once I had my baby, like I stopped working, kind of like you. And it was kind of up to her to pay it, and she didn't. And then we got evicted, and then I'm 18 years old with an eviction on my credit report, and I didn't know what that meant. I just knew like, how do I get this off? What do I do? And like you said,
Yeah.
like everywhere you would go, like the second chance apartments, I mean, they'll give you a chance, but you got to pay like a whole extra month up front, or it's just ridiculous.
They're
So
not always the best.
it's
They're
not.
not always the best areas. They're not
Yeah,
always
that's
the
what I was gonna
best.
say. It's not the good area.
Sometimes there's a waiting list. I've had clients calling me like, I'm literally homeless because I have an eviction on my credit report and I cannot find a place that will accept me.
Yeah.
Like I'm on waiting lists for these second chance places. I don't know what to do.
Mhm.
that's a tough situation. I mean, especially when we're not taught in school
Mhm.
what to do, how to take care of your credit. What does that look like? What does that mean? And a lot of people feel helpless. Like, okay, now this is on my credit report. That's it. Like I can't get a regular apartment, or I'm never going to be able to, get a nice car, or
Mhm.
if you do, like, you're going to be paying a lot. They just feel like those are just like their circumstances.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
I was gonna say, and it's also like kind of like once you get into debt, I guess you feel helpless because it's like even with credit cards, right? Like you miss a payment and then on top of that they charge you like a account fee or something, and then on top of that it's like, oh well, now you have a late fee too. So it's like, first of all, you saw I didn't have no money and you
yeah.
came in here and took some more money. Like what? So I
Yeah.
think we've all, well, not you, but maybe the majority of the general public has all been there at once. Like just because we don't know or our parents didn't teach us, you know,
Yeah, and there's
how to.
different circumstances. I've actually had stuff put on my credit, and now that I have a credit repair company, and it was just like my last daughter, I had her via C-section, emergency early,
Mhm.
and all my hospital bills, I was just like, hang, and had
Oh, hold on, you were
complications, and
breaking
so
up. Okay. I,
is it better?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. But yeah, I had a lot of complications. And so my daughter was actually born at the end of the year, the 29th of December. And
Mhm.
so it hit like the new year, my insurance no longer wanted to cover all those past, like I had hit my deduct her. She came out 5 pounds, nothing for her, nothing for me. And so I was just like making my payments. So they gave me this giant bill and I was just making payments on it, hundreds of dollars at a time.
Mhm.
And because I wasn't paying it all at once, because as 40,000.
Yeah, like, oh, just charge it. You don't have that money. What are you
Like,
talking about?
yeah, it's like they just wanted all their money all at once. And because I wasn't doing that, they sent my bill to collections. And my daughter's only 2, so this just like happened 2 years ago. And I remember receiving because I monitor my credit, and I remember seeing the little notification that it was like sent to collections, and I was like like I couldn't even believe it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I pay you hundreds of dollars a month. Like anytime I had extra money, I'm just like, I need to pay this. Because I'm the type of person like it's like a black cloud over my head if I owe any type of money. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, I've been paying you. Like, how can you just like send it to collections? So I mean, there's just so many different circumstances and things that could happen to get something sent to collections.
Mhm.
Um, but the good thing about it being sent to collections is that I just got it removed and I didn't have to pay it.
Yay.
But that like I mean it kind of like I don't want to be I don't want to like get too excited about that, right? Because I don't
Yeah.
want to have that mentality of like
I'll just
yeah, like
remove it.
I
Like,
know I
no,
can do
yeah.
it, but I want to learn and I want to grow from it.
Mhm.
Um, but I did get I got all my medical bills taken off, and it's like I would have paid it, but they didn't even give me they didn't want to deal with it. They didn't give me
Yeah.
the opportunity. So there's just like all different types of situations. I mean, we've had clients, I had to help a client battle like $3 account
Wow.
from
You
from
know
Mervin.
what's
I don't know
funny?
if you remember Mervin's.
No. What is that?
Mervin. It kind of shows my age.
I'm like, no, what is that?
Mervin's Mervin's was a department store like
Like
years and
Sears or something like that?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Wow.
yeah, she owed $3 and it was like messing up her credit. And she was just like, I've tried everything to get this removed. Like this company doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
You know
so
what's
yeah.
funny about that is that I just talked to someone where they were telling me that they literally owed a penny, 1 penny. And
Yeah.
she called and she paid it down, and but she still owed that penny. And they would not take a penny payment. And then they charged her a late fee. I was like, what? That
A
is
lot of those systems are automated.
uh-huh.
Um, like when companies sell off it's literally like they have an automatic system. It's looking through all the accounts that they have and up to standing at that time, they just
Mhm.
they just sell it in bulk for pennies. I mean, the other company picks it up. Let's say they buy $1 million worth of debt, they might have paid
Mhm.
200 bucks for it. And
Wow.
now they're gonna hound you and be like, pay me, pay me, pay me, which is why you can get it removed.
Mhm.
Um, because they have so many laws and guidelines that they have to follow. They have to have like paperwork, contract. So a lot of times you're able to legally get it removed and not have to pay them.
Mhm. I think so. I've talked to quite a few credit repair companies for myself. And I think the thing that I loved about you is that like you told me like, hey, we're gonna look at your report and then we're gonna, send the letters. But if it shows that you owe it, you're gonna pay it. But other
Yeah.
people, other companies are like, oh no, we're gonna remove it. We're gonna remove it. And it's like, is that legal? Like, are you really gonna be able to remove it? Or are you just gonna take all my money, making me believe like, oh, this is just the process, and then just never remove it? Like,
Yeah, no, we do things a lot different. We actually comb through your entire credit report, and then we will look at anything. If it's with the original creditor, which is the original company that you owe, it's not going to get removed. That's the original company. They got your contract. They have all the documentation they need to legally collect on it. Like there's no point in just doing that whole back and forth with like the letters.
mhm,
Um, I know a lot of other credit repair companies, they will kind of just lie and say, "Oh, we're just going to dispute all of it." I think that's a time waster. I've seen people on social media say that they've been working on their credit for 3 years. I'm like, how does that even happen?
yeah,
Being with companies like this. And it's like, if you are disputing something back and forth and keep sending the same letter or getting the same response, and you're not even looking into what kind of debt it is or what the
mhm,
response is, um, you're just stealing people's money. You're
yeah,
not getting them real results. So that's
mhm,
the first thing we do is we cover everything. And it's like, if there's things that you need to pay, look, this needs to be paid. We could help get it reduced. We do negotiate debt. So we could help save you some money. We could help get it reduced. And then there is other things on there that if the company doesn't have the right to collect, if it's been sold off, those are more likely we could, fight them. Um, but the way we do credit repair is completely different. Every client gets a different type of letter. Everything is done by us.
mhm.
And it's all custom. So since it's all custom, our clients get great results because it's customized to them.
Yeah, it's not just like one generic letter that everybody is sending out. And yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no call center, no generic letters, no time wasters. People are not with us for years and years and years. We like to get our clients in and out.
Mhm.
Uh, Especially, I mean, you want to move on with life. You have goals. You need a car or you want a house.
Yeah,
Uh, so our goal is just to get it done as quickly as possible and give you a second chance. That way you can get your house, your car, or anything else that you need.
that's good. I've sent a lot of my clients that need it to you, and I don't know, they reached out.
We've had
People,
a good amount.
you know how people are. Sometimes they're like, oh, we're gonna call, and then they just start ghosting you. But one of the things that I liked about your program is that you offer like a DIY program, and then you also offer something where you just take everything on and you do it for them. Can
Yeah.
you explain a little bit about the two?
Yeah. So we do have a do it yourself. I say do it yourself, but it's more with our knowledge, our tools, our letters, our everything. And it's basically where we do a review of your credit report. We will break down all of your collection accounts, anything that's negatively hurting your credit. It's going to be broken down. We'll let you know what needs to be paid. If you'd like to settle it, you could get with us. We could try to get you a cheaper amount and we could work on settling that account for you and saving you some money. If you just want to go ahead and pay it off, we give you the information where you could pay it off. And then whichever accounts you need to dispute, you can dispute it directly in our system. So one of the amazing things is that my husband has been in the IT field for over 12 years. And so he has made a great CRM where we house all of our clients. And for those do-it-yourself people, you literally could just go in and put what account you want to dispute, and it sends our letters automatically off, and you receive the tracking for it. And our clients have had a really big success with that. Anyone can use it. So it's anyone can just create an account and start disputing accounts if they want.
Okay.
But our letters get updated if we see someone needing a specific type of letter. Maybe our wording's not what it should be. They have a special request, or because normally when we're looking through everything, we see like what the information is on the credit report. We'll go ahead and create that letter on the back end, and that way, if that client chooses to make a dispute, that letter's in there specifically for them.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Awesome.
that's been really good. It's a pay as you go. Like you said, if you have bad credit, a lot of times you can't afford to pay a credit repair company hundreds of dollars a month. Or maybe you just don't want to. You want to rational it out. So it's a pay as you go. So you can do 100 disputes in one day. You could do 5 today, 3 tomorrow. It's completely whatever you want to do, but you have that outline guideline from us letting you know exactly what you need to do. And then you're able to like use our tools. So that's kind of our pay as you go option. And then I do have my clients that are like, I don't want to look at my credit report. I don't want to look at my credit report. I don't want to think about it. I want nothing to do with it, but I need good credit.
Yeah.
And those are my little VP clients. And so they work one-on-one with us. We do all the disputes for them and just kind of keep them updated on everything. But we do all the disputes for them. We talk about settling accounts, what we think save them, and kind of get them on that track. We even take the payments and help them pay off accounts. We pretty much do everything. It is hand holding. But those are my VIP clients. So then we have
Yeah.
that option as well. Um, but yeah, so those are our two options. They both work really well. It just kind of depends on what type of person you are and if you have time for it. Um, they're both pretty simple. I don't, it
Yeah.
just
I'm
depends.
very like I'm very tech savvy and like to do stuff myself. So I know whenever y'all sent me the link, I was like, I'm gonna do the DIY. Like I got this. I know what to do. And after
It's
looking at that, I was like, hey, so tell me more about that VIP program.
I know sometimes like I mean it's just human nature. We all put stuff off. So
Mhm,
if it's not something, some people would rather just pay one amount and just do everything for me, and I don't really have to like remember to like log in, because you have to log into your account, pull up
mhm,
your credit report and actually figure out like, okay, they're saying I need to dispute these ones. Let me go into the system and dispute them. So
mhm.
it's work, but it's minimal work. But you still have to be motivated and dedicated to like log in and do that stuff. So it just kind of depends on what your preference is, but just a
Mhm.
little bit of everything. And we can do customized plans. Um, our goal is just to help people. So it's a passion of ours. My husband's
What I love
also
about you guys.
yes, my husband's also a licensed loan officer. So a lot of our clients come to us because they're wanting to purchase a home,
Mhm,
um, and maybe they're just not there credit wise, or they're trying to find like, where could I save more money, raise my credit score and save more money. So we do talk to our clients about refinancing, what their options are, they could talk to and get that done, what the benefit of it would be, and things like that. So all around, just finances is just our thing. We just love it.
yeah, that's awesome. How did you guys come up with the name Cheating Debt?
Cheating debt. It's actually funny. So we actually started as a nonprofit.
Mhm.
And some people that have followed us from the beginning know this. And we actually had a huge and
Oh, you
family.
froze. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I heard you had a huge and then it like froze.
Is it good now?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay. That's so weird. Like you haven't froze at all.
No.
This on my end. Um, But yeah, so we actually started off as a nonprofit. A lot of people that have been following us since 2016 probably know this,
Mhm.
because our main mission was just to encourage, empower, and educate people on how to take advantage of their credit and to have good credit.
Mhm.
So we still do a lot of educational stuff. We actually break down everything to tell our clients like why we should dispute this, why this is hurting their credit score. We explain everything. There's no secrets. I mean, the only thing that we keep dire to our hearts is really our letters.
Mhm.
Just because that's like they work, and
Yeah.
that's just like we've put our blood, sweat, and tears into it. Um but we're pretty much an open book when it comes to like finances. So we actually started as a nonprofit because our whole motive was like we just want to help people.
Mhm.
Um, and then just going through the names of kind of like, okay, what do we want to name it? And I think we started like, oh, maybe it could be like prosperity. And then we're like, well, no. And, just kind of like looking at those financial names. And
Yeah.
then we're just kind of talking and we're like, okay, these names are very um, not what we're going for. It seems like very like bank-like, very like formal. Not somebody that would feel like maybe everyone wouldn't feel comfortable going to like a company called Prosperity Credit Repair or whatever.
Mhm.
So we kind of went back and forth, and then my husband was like, "I want everyone to cheat debt. Is it crazy if we called it cheating debt?" And we were just like, "Oh my God, that's great." And then
Yeah.
roll with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, people ask all the time if we're wearing our shirts out or if we're at an event or speaking at like we speak at like schools and businesses. And if we're doing any of that stuff, people are like, that name,
Yeah.
it's like
That's
all
awesome.
around.
I
And
know.
it covers everything. Like, it's not just credit repair, it's finances. Like, who doesn't want to cheat debt? Like, no one wants to be in debt, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
I know.
just kind of
I love the name because it's like you're kind of like cheating the system that tries to keep us down and doesn't
yeah.
explain to us how to get out of it or how to, prosper in our finances. So that's why I love that. And it's like you said, it's more than just credit repair. It's like your whole mindset shifts. Like you were saying with your husband, how he was like, wow, like I didn't know I could have this type of leverage just for having a good credit score.
Yeah. And that's what we want. Like we literally have had clients before where they'll shop for furniture at what is that? I don't know why I can't think of the name. It's like the rent to own places.
Uh-huh. Like
And
errands or
yeah, like errands or cons. Cons is a big one.
yeah.
So they just automatically shop there. And we'll always tell them like you could buy furniture anywhere. Like you have good credit now. Like don't fall for like that.
Yeah.
Uh, because it's a total mind shift change.
Hmm.
Like you can go into a car dealership and you don't have to have them run your credit 40 times to find who's going to approve you. Like, no, go to your bank, you will get approved. Just figure out how much for.
Yeah.
And then use that as your buying power when you're going to buy your car. Like we literally have these conversations with our clients.
Hmm.
Like it's a mind shift for sure. Like our goal is just for our clients to make better choices, to understand that they have different choices,
Hmm.
um, and also not to fall for all these gimmicks of like no credit needed, buy here, pay here,
Yeah.
all the stuff that you overpay for.
Hmm.
Um, because just to say that if you do have bad credit, that doesn't mean you can never get approved for things. It just means that you're just going to be paying a lot more. There are companies out there that are willing to work with you. You just shouldn't want to work with them.
Right. Yeah. Like
Honestly, you shouldn't want to work with them. You don't want that
'cause
high
there's better
interest rate.
options. There's better
There is.
options. And it's crazy that like it's those type of companies that market more and like, just push more to be noticed or to be known. And it's like, yeah, those are the ones you need to stay away from.
Because a lot of people have credit issues. They don't know. I mean, it doesn't, you can't group anyone that has bad credit into a category. It doesn't mean you don't make good money. It doesn't
Right.
mean that there's something with you. It doesn't mean like it could be anyone. I
Mhm.
mean, we've had people that are our clients that have made good money. So it's just they're able to pay cash. They're
Yeah.
able to pay, and that's really what it is. It hasn't affected them.
Mhm.
Because they just pay cash.
Yeah.
Um, so I think the biggest misconception is just that if you have bad credit, like people are gonna think poorly of you, or like maybe that means you don't have money, and
Yeah.
that's just not the case. I
Mhm.
mean, it could literally happen to anyone. It could be you're paying everything on time, and then the system messes up and it reports a late payment.
Yeah.
Now it dings your credit 60, 70 points. Like, or you never use your credit card, so it got closed out.
Yeah.
Now it dings your credit. It could literally be anything.
Or you paid your car off. That's
Yeah.
great. I never understood how like I paid it off, so why did my credit go down?
Yeah. So it's like we always tell our clients, like anything that's reporting to you is temporary. Your credit score changes, it fluctuates.
Mhm.
So things get reported to your credit every 30 to 45 days. And just depending on that, it's going to look at everything. It's going to look at what your balances are on your credit cards. If you happen to have higher balances that month, your credit's going to suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to look at payments. If you're making your payments on time, if you miss a payment, it's going to ding you. If something's reported inaccurate, it's going to ding you.
Mhm.
Um, if something gets removed and it's positive, like in other people's cases, like how you said, like paying off your car, if you don't have a good amount of accounts reporting positive, and let's say that was like your oldest account and you're paying positive so much, as soon as that car is paid off, you no longer have that positive history. It just
Yeah.
disappears.
Like,
So,
okay.
and that lowers your credit. So it's
Yeah.
just like my husband and I are always like the credit game, because it's really just how do you play their little game, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are they wanting you to do to have this good credit score to be able to pay these lower prices? Because really, that's all it is. Like, you're paying based on your credit score,
Right.
which I don't think it's fair, but
Yeah.
it
It's
happens.
crazy. I'm telling you, girl, this system.
Uh, even jobs now don't want you. I mean, they'll say like you have to have good credit. We had recently a somebody that was in the working on becoming a police officer. And
Mhm.
he said, I have to repair my credit before I finish because I cannot be a police officer.
Oh my gosh. That
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
guess they don't want, I don't know. I guess maybe they feel
They want outstanding citizens.
like they're going to do something if you need money. Like, I don't know. Like, but he had to fix his credit. And he was just like, I have stuff from my ex-wife. Like, he was married before. And he was like, I
Mhm.
just don't know how to take care of it. So he had to fix it. I mean, even jobs now are saying
That's
like you have to
crazy.
have, yeah, it's wild.
Well, good thing
It's
I'm a realtor. That would be like, we're not hiring you. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I think I have heard that before, but I didn't think like a police officer would.
yeah, he was in the police academy. He was like, before I
Yeah,
finish the academy, I have to um make sure my
I
credit's in
get it.
order.
Wow.
Yeah. It's wild.
I
It's
know.
if they feel like they can hold you back, they will. I just feel like
Yeah. I'm saying
any
I'm like mind blown. Like
yeah, if they can hold you back, they will. I mean, I don't understand it, especially too, like sometimes you fall into hard times, or we get a lot of medical bills.
Mhm.
Clients have like a lot of medical bills. People, if they get diagnosed with cancer, a lot of times like all that treatment, they'll be like, I survived cancer, but my credit is shot and I
Yeah.
have nothing, but I lived. Um, we get a
Yeah.
lot of like cancer patients that
Mhm.
have had cancer and all their medical bills are in collections because they just couldn't.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just sad. Like,
Mhm.
you have to pick between your financial future and your life.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like, it's
Yeah.
wild.
You know what's funny that you're talking about medical bills? So my daughter, she is 6 years old. And when she was, I think, 2 or 3, we had to take her to the ER and they did like all these tests on her. Well, now they've sent me like a collection bill, like in her name. And I'm like, she's 2. And it's funny because like sometimes when it comes in the mail, I joke and I open it and I'm like, oh girl, this is for you.
You have a bill.
Like, here's your bill, girl. She's just like, what is this? But I'm like, don't they usually like put that on the parent in the parent's name?
Yeah, they normally do. It's probably
Yeah,
not going to, it's not probably not going to affect, she doesn't have credit.
I
She's
know. I'm like, why
good.
would they put it in her name? But I'm
Yeah,
like,
no,
whatever.
I think it's probably maybe to like get your attention or so that you open it to be like, oh, like what's that? Like this is under my child's name, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's not gonna be under
In
her name.
her name. I hope it's not in her name. Because I'm like, that's so strange to me.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, I joke with her. I'm like, here you go. And she's like, Mom, stop. I don't know what this is. I'm 6.
Yeah. No, and medical bills are the worst because when you go to the hospital, you have like the hospital's bill. And then if you got a medication, then you have like that person's bill. And then
Yeah.
if another doctor just walked in and said, hey, how are you? You got that doctor's bill. So when you receive the bill in the mail, one big bill, right? Like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I have all this money.
Mhm.
But when let's say you don't pay it, when it gets sold to collections, it's going to get split up. And instead of having like one negative collection account, you're going to have like 5 or 6. And
Mhm.
you're going to be like, what is this? And it hurts you more because it's so many different collection accounts. I mean, it's still going to add up to the total that you received in the mail, but it's
Mhm.
going to be multiple accounts. So medical accounts are the worst, the
Yeah,
worst.
they
But
are.
we get them removed. So
Yay.
yeah,
So,
medical accounts, we've gotten like home foreclosures, car repossessions, credit cards.
mm,
I mean, if they don't have the right to collect legally, it's going to get removed. That's
yeah,
our motto.
that's good. Yes. Uh,
Know your rights.
right? No, you're right. Know your credit rights.
Yes.
I was gonna say something. I forgot. What was I gonna say? It'll come back to me. Hold on. What was I gonna say? What were we talking about?
We're talking about medical
Oh,
bills.
okay, I remember. Okay, so I have something on my collections that just makes me laugh because it's the AT&T modem. They're charging me for it from like 10 years ago. And the craziest part is that my husband works for AT&T. So we know we returned it.
Wow.
And they're just like, nope, you owe it. And then sometimes it falls off and then it comes back on. And I'm like, I thought they already took this off. How does that work?
If it falls off of your credit report, that just means that, well, in Texas, accounts fall off of your credit report in 7 years of the agreed upon date.
Mhm.
That's when it's going to completely. Sometimes you will refresh your report and you'll see like, oh, that used to be on my account and now it's not, and then it might pop up again a month later. That just means that that company gave up on trying to collect and they sold it off to another company. So now this other company is going to start reporting it on your credit report and start
Mhm.
hitting you up trying to get the payment.
Yeah.
So
Of
it's
the
just that
modem that I
transition.
already gave them.
Yeah, it's just that transition period where it was like sold off from one collection agency to another. Because if
Yeah.
they feel like they're not going to make any money off of it, they at least try to make something and they'll sell it off
Oh,
and,
okay.
let that person
Deal with
bother.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like deal with it. We didn't get nothing from it. So whatever they made
They
on it
did.
from
They got
selling
their
it.
modem back.
For some reason, like those modems, like a lot of people have those on their collection accounts.
Yes. I don't
I
know
don't
what they
know.
do with these modems. Like, I know I
They give
returned
you a
it.
box to send it in, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it has something to do with a process. That process is like faulty
Yeah.
because a lot of people are like, no, I turned that in.
Yeah.
Um, but
And they're just like, no, you didn't. And now you owe us $120.
yeah, that's nuts.
I'm over here. So real quick. This is gonna go on YouTube and I'm over here telling my whole business. We're getting real. Okay. Do you have anything else to share?
No, we do free consultations.
Okay.
If anyone is interested in credit repair, you could always give us a call. You could Google cheating debt. You'll A whole bunch of stuff will pop up from us. Schools we've been at talking, all sorts of stuff, but you'll get our information on there, our website, and you can set up a free consultation. Like I said, we're an open book, so we're able to answer any questions that you guys may have. And yeah, I know Irene, she is a realtor. So if you're interested in purchasing a home and maybe just aren't quite there yet with your credit or don't know where you stand, my husband is a loan officer. We could take a look at everything and kind of see what you need to do to kind of prepare yourself for the future, if home buying is something that you're wanting.
Yes. And I'm gonna post all your information in the description so they can have it.
Perfect.
Okay, let me stop recording.